Hey, Joel Jaguars, thank you so much for joining us for the November AP update. Suzanne sends her greetings, but she's working with a child in crisis right now. So I get the opportunity to cover all of the agenda items today. So let's jump in. Number one, surveys from Pearson Online. We have a school psychologist that's assigned to our campus by the district. She's here for a half day on Thursdays, and her name is Lisa Segura. Some of you have had the opportunity to sit in on an IEP with her or go through a student review with her. She is someone who has to collect behavioral survey data for students who might be qualifying for education or special education, or students who have already qualified for special education in some sort of category that she services. So we want to let you know that the district is switching to a more paperless concept with the surveys that she has to deploy. Some of you may have already received some of these surveys. So she will likely send you an email that says, "Hi, I'm Lisa Segura, and you will be receiving an online survey from Pearson regarding this student." And then in a few moments, you get your email to ding again, and it's a Pearson survey online. That survey has been cleared by her for you to participate in. She has clearance from the parent to be able to collect your data that you share in that survey. That does not change if a parent sends you a survey like a Vanderbilt survey or behavioral rating scale survey. Those surveys you can only fill out when you have clearance from me, because I keep the survey releases on file in my office for things like our 504 friends or friends who are on a certain kind of medication that affects behavior and impulse control, and that doctors want to get the input from the teachers. That's a different process. There's still a paper release that I have to collect. And you know that you're clear to fill out those paper surveys when I return them to you in your box and says, "We have received clearance," with a note that says, "We have received clearance for you to fill out the survey." But in terms of the electronic ones, Lisa Segura will be sending you the heads up that it's coming, and then you will get it from Pearson Online. Pearson is the publisher of the survey that we use here in Sci-Fair. So that's why it's from Pearson. All right, number two, kids invite someone special. So we call that KISS. We do not encourage the children to kiss each other that day, don't worry. But Kids Invite Someone Special is on Friday, December 10th, and it is a before school event. You do not have to do a single thing for it. We just want you to know what's happening so you can answer questions from kids or questions from parents or family members. It's a before school event where children can invite one special person to come with them, a grown-up, to come with them, and we give them a donut, we give the child a donut. There's a beverage involved, like water or juice, something like that. It's before school, and we want to give you a heads up that it's going to start at 7:45 in the morning on December 10th. So please mark your calendars to get here before 7:45 that day, because the parking lots will be completely full. We did this event for the first time a few years ago. It was a smashing success. We had a lot of family involvement, which is fantastic. Lots of kids were excited to share that moment, even though it's 20 minutes. It's a quick 20 minutes, but they were excited to share that with whoever loves them from their house, that one special person. So our parking lots will be filled up that day. Be sure and get here so you can grab your spot. Again, you do not have to do a single thing to help with that event other than just be aware of it and know what's going on. All right, field day. We are having field day on November 18th and 19th. Your class will participate in field day only on one of those days, but their schedule changes for us on both days, specifically large group. Now, your lunch schedule is the same, your recess schedule is the same. The only thing that changes for recess is it's indoor recess, because we're using so much of the backyard for field day. So it is indoor recess for all recesses, the 18th and 19th. So prepare for that. And then for your schedule changes for large group, what's important is that the large group teachers are expecting that content area, the children from that content area, to walk through the door at the time on the schedule. For example, I think there's a day, I'm doing this from memory, where our fifth grade language arts teachers go at the end of the day. It says fifth grade language arts for large group at the very end of the day. That means the children who are in fifth grade language arts homerooms need to walk through the large group doors at the very end of the day for the last large group session. It does not mean that the language arts teacher has to drop them off at the door. This gives you the opportunity to work with your team and see if you're going to switch so they can experience every content area that day. It's not who drops them off at the door that matters. It's who's walking through the door that matters, children-wise. So we do this because our teachers have equipment, specific equipment that they set aside for different classes and different content areas. I know Ms. McCullough Santos also organizes her art materials throughout the day in order so she can distribute materials to the students in a fast manner. So if you have any questions about how the large group schedule works for field day for the 18th and the 19th, please stop by. I would love to help you with that. It's always a bit confusing when we have a schedule change. All right, number 4, the PBIS reward store. Every teacher should have their PBIS reward store open and full and ready to sell children things so they can trade in points. If you have no idea how to set up your PBIS reward store, please talk to the PBIS representative on your team. They're very knowledgeable about PBIS rewards. If you're not sure who your PBIS representative is, you can ask Lisa Jandal. She'll be happy to tell you that information so we can get you some help. All right, number 5, special education accommodation documentation. They're 4 very serious words. So soon you will be getting a video from our special education teachers, and they will be telling you about the process you need to use to document accommodations and supports for students who do not have those accommodations and supports listed in 360. We have some students who get supports in a content area, but they don't necessarily have all the necessary requirements to make it pop into 360. We still need to be documenting that those supports are being given. It's a legal documentation. It's a legal promise that we make to the family and to the committee for the IEP that the students will be receiving those supports. So we have to show documentation that we are actually providing the supports. We do this similarly in 504. We don't have anything online for 504 for documentation, accommodation documentation. So in special education, you'll still continue with 360. There are a few supports that are not going to be listed in 360, and the special education teachers are going to make a video to tell you how we're going to handle the documentation for that. It'll be consistent with what other schools do across the district as well. All right, number 6, greeting students in the morning, whether you are on the back porch, the front porch, the daycare porch, the walker porch, in your hallway, in a corner of a hallway, stationed near a restroom, or standing in your homeroom doorway. We need to make sure that we are greeting students in the morning. We may be the very first person to make eye contact with them that day because we all know how busy families are getting ready for school. We might be the very first person to say their name because maybe at home they're called baby sweetie honey pie, or hey, you get over here. So it's a huge opportunity to connect with our students. It's very tempting to be solving the problems of the world and saying, what are we doing here? Let's answer this question here. But really our eyes are on the prize, and that's our kids walking through the door, and we are greeting them with eye contact. All right, number 7, the multiplication contest. Mr. Brennan has a very special message for us. This is for our 4th and 5th grade math teachers. The contest is December 10th. Hey, that's the same day as our donut event, the KISS event. We're not kissing anyone. It's okay. The teachers need to let your students know to study the facts over Thanksgiving break. So when we get back from the Thanksgiving break, the math teacher will pick 3 to 5 students that might enter the contest. And I know Mr. Brennan will be giving us more information about that as it gets closer. We're excited to see that. I anticipate that he will be placing information in the s'more. So be watching the s'more and reading that every week. All right, and finally, our last agenda item is Rodeo Day. Rodeo Day is December 17th. It's going to have a huge schedule change. We did Rodeo Day a few years ago, and it was met with rave reviews, a smashing success. It was wonderful. So we're not exactly sure what rotations we're going to have. The rodeo committee has a lot of qualified presenters that come out to these events, but we will definitely get to spend the day going around in a rotation, learning about the different aspects of rodeo life, maybe rodeo history, maybe life on a ranch. It's going to be amazing. It was amazing the last time they were here. And the shining thing about Rodeo Day is we are providing you with a barbecue lunch, which will be delicious. It's always a big hit with our school staff every single year. Our staff and our students alike love Rodeo Day, and they just love it. So we're excited that they're coming back. And I'm excited that you spent some time with me in this November AP update. Thanks so much. You rock.